How's it going, guys? Welcome back to a brand new Pennyworth Season 2 video. Just 1 month now, I believe, around 1 month until Season 2 airs, and we've got a brand new official trailer for Season 2, so I'm going to go ahead and play that, and then we'll talk about it afterwards. And yeah, let's just get some hype, because Pennyworth is just round the corner. So let's roll the trailer.
We're making a fresh start. There'll be some tough choices along the way. Mr. Wayne.
Alfred, what have you been up to?
Fast cars, loose women.
Martha, how are you?
It's been a while.
I'm engaged.
Then what have you come back for?
Harwood sparked a civil war.
There'll be a proper argy-bargy.
Not cricket, really, is it?
The complete destruction of our enemy is in our hands.
Sorry, this gun's new to me.
We hold London at all costs.
Consider it done.
Martha, I'm worried about you.
I'm not sure if you're brave or stupid.
Both.
Any questions? No? Good.
So I really enjoyed that trailer. I like how the trailer has a proper spring in its step, so to speak. You know, we've got Alfred bowling there, grabbing that champagne bottle. I mean, Alfred, after all, is running this club named Delaney's, which has been compared to Rick's in Casablanca, the one place in town where there's a neutral zone in the center of London where everyone meets to do business. And overall, it just gives you the vibes of new season, let's do this. But don't forget that Pennyworth Season 2 is returning to your screen, well, on Epix, that is, December 13th. We're going to get weekly episodes up until the mid-season finale on January 3rd, and then we will be seeing the remaining 6 episodes, I believe, sometime during 2021. Before we get into some of the other details of what we got out of this trailer, do go ahead and give this video a like. I'd really appreciate that. Let me know, yet again, if you want to see Pennyworth Season 2 reviews up on the channel, because, you know, there's not a huge audience for Pennyworth. I did want to open this video by saying welcome back to a breakdown for one of the most underrated DC shows out there, because, hey, it really is underrated, and lots of you, or lots more people, should be watching it. So I've already mentioned some of these details I'm going to mention in my previous Pennyworth Season 2 video, so I'll leave them in the cards above or in the end card of this video. But essentially, if you watched Pennyworth Season 1, but it's been some time and you've kind of forgot everything, well, in Season 2, we are back a year later after the events of Season 1. 1 whole year, and at the beginning of this trailer, we see Thomas Wayne meet Alfred here and ask what he's been up to, which is followed by Thomas asking Martha how has she been, quite fairly awkwardly. And we do get some reused footage from prior Season 2 trailers of like Martha trying to make a move on Thomas, but the thing is, in this moment, he's now engaged because after returning home to his East Coast mansion in Gotham, his parents have found him a fiancée called Betsy Van Wick. Also, in terms of Thomas Wayne this season, we can't forget in between the year gap between Season 1 and 2, he's also been made CIA Station Chief, which is more or less a careerist move for Thomas, but it also intensifies the conflict he feels between what he knows is right and what is also just, you know, being presented to him as a policy that he has to follow. And of course, as I mentioned in the details in my previous videos, this will kind of bring about the conflict that was already present in Martha and Thomas's relationship last season. That was more comical to now a more deadly serious one in Season 2 due to Thomas's new position, and of course Martha being a confidant of the No Name League leadership. And this is all while falling in love with each other at the same time. So that's one thing about this show. I think, you know, outside on the surface level, a lot of people don't bother with it just because it seems quote unquote kind of boring, even though of course it isn't. But once you get into this, you see how much fleshing out these characters get. I mean, of course, we've had Thomas and Martha Wayne be fleshed out in the comics before, but really, there's so much intrigue here to be had at watching all of this and all of these events unfold, so much rich history and original history that they're giving these characters, and of course as well with other characters such as Alfred, since this show is titled Pennyworth. But yeah, I'm gonna kind of stop complimenting this show now because I could do it for quite a long time. Oh yeah, and one more thing with all the Thomas and Martha stuff we get in this trailer, we can't forget that Martha gets pregnant. There's still a little bit of mystery surrounding that, Is it Thomas's baby, or was she technically already pregnant by the events of season 2 episode 1? So maybe she got pregnant in the last year. If so, that isn't baby Bat Bruce Wayne. It could be another kid that just, I don't know, for some reason never gets born. There's a bunch of speculation. I've been over it in previous videos as well, but I would love to know your thoughts on this. It would just, considering this show could have, I don't know, 4 to 6 seasons plus, I doubt there's going to be a baby Bruce who's like 3 or 4 years old by season 5 or 6, if you know what I mean. I think what this pregnancy will serve to do during season 2 is really kind of rope and string Thomas and Martha Wayne a lot more closer together, especially if it is their first kind of baby that, I don't know, let's just say for some reason or another doesn't actually get delivered. But also in this trailer, we see Lord Harwood plotting out his fascist regime, and what we do know about him this season is that he has escaped from the Tower of London and has at this point taken over essentially most of the country through pulling a coup, and England is just very much so at war. There's quite the siege in London, and as we see from the trailer with the scene with the Queen, we hold London at all costs. And honestly, I'm very much so looking forward to seeing that siege, whether it's from the trailers before this or even in this one. It just looks like we've got a lot of fun action to come in season 2 with Alfred and the boys kind of protecting London as best as they can. Due to the London that Alfred knows and loves, it is practically falling apart all around him, of which is why also Alfred decides to even stay, because his city that he desperately so wants to escape, especially after the events of last season, I mean that's his whole thing as of the beginning of season 2, with those scenes we see of him grabbing his money together and getting ready to go to America. However, London kind of really needs him now more than ever. And I don't mean to set that up in a way that, oh, Gotham needs, Batman and Bruce in that kind of way. It's just that Alfred is a very important chess piece, so to speak, in the recovery and fight for England, should I say. And without Alfred Pennyworth, London would be much worse off against Lord Harwood. As for Bette Sykes, we also see the same scene we saw before of her in her new uniform, of which the actress teased in interviews that she's been rewarded by Lord Harwood, and in this uniform she feels quite important, and it seems that she's kind of gathering people up in this Raven kind of like outpost, and at this point in time, or at least in this scene, she's feeling quite important. However, she also teased that through this new power trip that she's on as a result of this reward, she starts to realize that, you need more than a uniform to have any power, and she starts to get a little bit irritated and even questions if the people she's working for even respect her. So could we see Bette Sykes lash out at Lord Harwood? I mean, this is also pretty interesting to ponder, because it's described that Lord Harwood is descending slowly into megalomania, and that people around him are taking advantage, and that there is a larger villain who appears to steal the throne from him. So I'm not saying it is Bette Sykes, but I do feel like she's going to have a hand to play in Lord Harwood's downfall. We're just going to have to wait and see, though. I also mentioned this in my previous videos, especially the one from my last trailer breakdown, I believe, but I think the fact that they showed this dude again means surely that this is Lucius Fox, because don't forget, we do have Lucius Fox coming to Pennyworth Season 2, and his first appearance will be in Episode 4, just for those of you who kind of want to put a little bit of a bookmark in your head for when he's going to enter the show. As for my theories with Lucius Fox and them teasing that he may be with the bad guys but ultimately be a good guy, as we kind of know, I think he's going to be working for Lord Harwood or some kind of Raven thing or operation, and he's going to kind of come out of it through Alfred's help, hopefully, and then they can utilize Lucius Fox's knowledge against the Ravens and Lord Harwood. You get the idea of where I'm going with that. Maybe it will be something like that. In this scene, he kind of looks a little bit petrified, so we're going to have to ultimately wait and see. But as I kind of said at the beginning of this trailer breakdown, if you will, I like how the trailer had a proper spring in its step, so to speak. Season 2 is just around the corner. I really hope that a lot more people get into this show. It really is really decent, and I really do enjoy seeing a fleshed out backstory to Alfred Pennyworth before he comes to America and Gotham City with the Waynes to kind of look after little Bruce. And I feel like in this kind of little sub-canonical version, if you will, that Alfred may very well go to America with the Waynes, but I don't see him necessarily being, the Waynes' butler, just pure butler. think Michael Caine Butler style. I feel like what he'll be doing right at the end of this series, and this is kind of a little random tangent, just random thought that I thought of. When all is well in England and, you know, finally Alfred is getting what he wants, just like in this season, in terms of moving out of England to America, he'll go with the Waynes. At this point, I'm guessing they may very well be married, and he'll probably just work with Thomas up until their death. And that is when he will take over the care of Bruce Wayne, rather than the traditional backstory of him just being a, you know, kind of a butler. Sure, he may have served in the military, but he's just been a butler since then. Like, that's what I like about Pennyworth. I feel like depending on how long this series goes for, there's going to be kind of a bit of added, maybe even fleshed out stuff to even that original kind of Batman origin, or should I say taking care of Bruce Wayne, and just how he kind of fell into that compared to the traditionalist way he always did. But anyway, guys, if you enjoyed this Pennyworth update, I'd really appreciate it if you just hit that like button. It really does mean a lot, helps the videos out so much, more than you could probably realize. Subscribe for more videos just like this. As always, links are in the top pinned comment down in that comment section to my Twitter. You can join my Discord server and all kinds of things like that. But thank you so much for watching, especially those of you who got to this point. I hope you all have a lovely rest of your day, and I'll see you all in the next video. Goodbye.